ताप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। Hare Krishna. So we will come back after our tour to Sri Chitrakoot and Ayodhya Dham. Of course, we went to Tirthraj, Prayag also. We will resume our study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Because actually, one is able to see the Lord not by his charma chakshu, not by his material vision, but only through the process of hearing. And in particular, hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Ramya, where is Dayashil Prabhu? He has not returned.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, he is here Prabhuji.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपकी। आप लोग मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं?
Yes Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
He is here Prabhuji.
So we will start we concluded, we saw in the last 3 chapters, 4th, 5th and 6th, detailed inspiration, instruction, and also the storyline of Narada Muni. Narada Muni gave the inspiration to Śrī Vyāsadeva to present Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And he also gave the full history of his own life sketch. So after hearing the history of Narada Muni, and the first answer was delivered by Sūta Goswami. Among the 3 questions that were asked, that what is the history of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and who gave the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? So both those questions are answered. So the next questions are that about Srila Shukadeva Goswami and the birth and activities of Parīkṣit Mahārāja. So further, the sages who are assembled in Naimisharanya, they will inquire. So this is verse 1 of the 7th chapter, which is entitled The Son of Droṇa Punished. Śaunaka uvāca nirgate nārade Sūta bhagavān bādarāyaṇaḥ śrutavāṁs tad-abhipretaṁ tataḥ akarod vibhuḥ. So Ṛṣi Śaunaka asked, O Sūta, the great and transcendently powerful Vyasadeva. Here the name of Vyasadeva is mentioned as bādarāyaṇaḥ. This Vyasadeva, his also name is bādarāyaṇaḥ. And he is mentioned here as bhagavān. Why he is mentioned bhagavān? Because he is a great and transcendently powerful sage. So Vyasadeva heard everything from Śrī Nārada Muni So after Narad Muni's departure, what did Vyasadeva do? So this is the inquisitiveness, the inquiry of Sūta Goswami is being inquired by the sages. So Prabhupada says in the purport that in this chapter, the clue for describing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is picked up as Parīkṣit Mahārāja is miraculously saved in the womb of his mother. So if you remember, after the first 5 questions which were raised by the sages, headed by Śaunaka Rishi, were answered in first 3 chapters, then further 3 questions were asked by Śaunaka Rishi and the sages. And as I said, in that the last 3 chapters, that is 4th, 5th, and 6th, the history of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, how did Bhagavatam appear, who was the inspiration, that is Śrī Nārada, and Nāradev's description was given. So now they want to know further. So Śaunaka Rishi is asking that after Narad Muni gave the instruction and the inspiration of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to Śrīla Vyāsadeva and left. So after Narad's departure, what did Vyasadeva do? Very relevant question. Prabhupada says in this chapter, the clue for describing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is picked up as Parīkṣit Maharaj is miraculously saved in the womb of his mother. This was caused by Drauṇi. Drauṇi is Aśvatthāmā. He is the son of Droṇa. So he is known as Drauṇi. Anyone knows what is the name of the mother of Aśvatthāmā? Yes, Ramya?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Kripi.
Very good.
Kripacharya sister.
Kripacharya's sister was married to Dronacharya. So he is being called as Drauṇi. Drauṇi means he is the son of Dronacharya. His lineage is coming from Dronacharya. So Dronacharya and Kripi had one son who was Aśvatthāmā. So Ācārya Droṇa's son who killed the 5 sons of Draupadī while they were asleep. So Aśvatthāmā did all kind of heinous activities. And in attempt to kill the Pandavas while they were asleep, he mistook the sons of Pandavas to be Pandavas. And he killed all the sleeping sons of Pandavas who were delivered from Draupadī, for which he was punished by Arjuna. So the Pandavas were very furious because Aśvatthāmā killed the innocent boys even while sleeping. So before commencing this great epic Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Śrī Vyāsadeva realized the whole truth by trance and devotion. So whatever Narad Muni gave him the instructions and Narad Muni gave him the inspiration for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So before presenting it, he himself realized it. How? By trance or by meditation in devotion. The next verse. So further Sūta Goswami is inquiring. Sūta uvāca brahmanadyam saraswatyam ashrama paschime tate samya prasha iti prokta Ṛṣīnām satravardhana. So Sūta Goswami further inquired, on the western bank of the river Saraswati, which is intimately related with the Vedas, there is a cottage for meditation at Samya Prasha. This is the place of residence of Śrīla Vyāsadeva. On the banks of Saraswati, at the place called Samyak Prasha, where Śrīla Vyāsadeva was residing. And this place is completely transcendentally surcharged. So whoever comes here is spiritually uplifted, which enlivens the transcendental activities of the sages. So this was a very favorable place to conduct meditation, if we see that Vyasadeva was absorbed in meditation. For spiritual advancement of knowledge, a suitable place and atmosphere are definitely required. This is a very loaded statement. Prabhupada says for spiritual advancement of knowledge, a suitable place and atmosphere are definitely required. How many of you subscribe to this statement of Srila Prabhupada? What I mean is, how many of you agree with this? No one agrees. Seeing each other, they are raising hands. Okay, those who are not raising hand, I may begin with them. Again, see the statement. Prabhupada says, for spiritual advancement of knowledge, a suitable place and atmosphere are definitely required. So those who did not raise their hand, what is your view? What is your understanding? Okay, Devadat, what is your understanding? You have raised your hand. Why it is required?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji, I have heard like there is a thing called Sthana Siddhi, where we do our spiritual practices regularly. We ought to achieve the Sthana Siddhi over there, so that place becomes very conducive for further practice of spiritual practices.
Come again, which sthan?
Sthana Siddhi, Prabhuji. I have heard like Sthana Siddhi occurs if we practice the devotional practices or prayers or meditation at a particular place regularly. So that
Please saying, please read the purport again. What it is saying. Read. Can you read?
for spiritual advancement of knowledge, a suitable place and atmosphere is definitely required.
Are definitely required. Not is. Are.
Yes, Prabhuji. Are.
Can you do sthana siddhi? Is it possible for you?
No, Prabhuji. Right now, I don't think so.
Prabhupada is not talking about sthana siddhi. What is he talking about? He's talking about a suitable place and a proper environment. We have discussed this in Bhagavad Gita also. What is it relating to? It is relating to Samyak Prash. This is where the ashram of Śrī Vyāsadeva is. And what is so distinct about that Samyak Prash? Let me see how much you are connecting. Devadat, why is Samyak Prash such a powerful place?
It was the hermitage of Vyasadeva, and
Yes.
he was performing he was performing meditation over there.
Yes, that is true. But why it has become an enlivened place? What makes this place enlivened? Anyone can answer. What has made that place become very special and empowered place? Of course, what she has said is not incorrect, but what is the main cause? We have covered it just now. I'm surprised. Please pay attention. Yes, there should be.
Prabhuji, here it is written that on the western bank of the river Saraswati, which is intimately related with the Vedas.
Yes.
And also in the word to word meaning also Brahmanadyam, on the bank of the river, intimately related with Vedas, Brahmanas, sand, and the Lord. So this is one of the reasons, Prabhuji, why.
Yes, this is the reason. Because it is on the banks of Saraswati and it is connected with the Vedas. What Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it is Suchau Desha Pratishthabhya. Very important. Very important. Most of us have not understood this concept. And so that is why we are struggling. We cannot move ahead in sadhana bhakti. Why we go for yatra? For this benefit of empowered place, where we see the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, His devotees, and anything and everything in relation to. So there, one is spiritually enlivened and uplifted. So a special environment is required, a special place is required. So if one has understood this, he will not go to a place which is a dead place, which is spiritually dead. If you move out of the enlightenment place, where do you go? You go to a place which is spiritually not enlightenment, but it is a dead place. And in those places, it is impossible to perform practice. You struggle, struggle, and only struggle, and you just fail, fail, and only fail. It is being mentioned even for the personality of Vyasadeva. So what to speak about any ordinary soul? So we have understood this principle. We will never ever leave the association of devotee for any rhyme or reason, and go there for better career or better, economic development or career development or this development. It is not development. It is only degradation. Only one thing is sure, that is spiritual degradation. So here it's a very powerful opening Prabhupada is giving, that if one is not in that proper place or in the atmosphere, then there is no question of spiritual advancement. So a suitable place and atmosphere are definitely required. This is what Srila Prabhupada has created. Srila Prabhupada has created temples all over the world of ISKCON to provide that suitable place and environment so that people can have spiritual advancement in knowledge. If you go away from the centers, you go away from where your roots are, then it is impossible to sustain in spiritual practice. Even up to the stage of Vyasadeva. The place on the western bank of the Saraswati is especially suitable for this purpose. And there is the ashram of Vyasadeva at Samyaprash. Srila Vyasadeva was the householder. Yet his residential place is called an ashram. So how even in the household one can be in the ashram? Prabhupada is defining. An ashram is a place where spiritual culture is focused. It does not matter whether the place belongs to a householder or to a mendicant. Mendicant means, say, sannyasi. Whether he's a householder, a grihastha, or a sannyasi. So most important is where spiritual culture is foremost. It is preserved, it is protected, it is practiced. If it is not preserved and protected, there is no question of practice. The whole Varnashram system is so designed that each and every status of life is called an ashram. This means the spiritual culture is a common factor for all. Very important. See how logically Prabhupada is presenting. That for every ashrama, whatever may be the social status, whether he may be brahmachari or he may be grahast, vanprasth or sannyasi. What is the first and the foremost is to preserve, protect and practice the spiritual culture. The brahmacharis, the grihasthas, the vanprasthas and the sannyasis all belong to the same mission of life, namely realization of the Supreme. This is called the spiritual culture. Where there is a sincere quest, where there is genuine effort to know about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, none of them are less important as far as spiritual culture is concerned. The difference is a matter of formality on the strength of renunciation. So very important, Prabhupada is giving in this short half line. What is the difference? The difference is in the strength of renunciation. Who is how much advanced will be determined on the basis of his renunciation, his or her renunciation. The sannyasis are held in high estimation on the strength of practical renunciation. Very important term. Prabhupada is saying sannyasis are held high in estimation on the strength of practical renunciation. That means there is some renunciation which is theoretical also. Prabhupada is saying that it is on the basis of practical renunciation, advancement on the basis of practical renunciation. Tasmin swa ashrame vyaso badari sandamandite ashino upasprishya pranidhadyo manaswayam. In that place, Śrī Vyāsadeva, in his own ashram, which was surrounded by berry trees. So that is the reason of being called as bādarāyaṇaḥ. Bādarāyaṇaḥ means one who is below the berry trees. Sat down to meditate upon touching water for purification. Very beautiful word here you use is upasprishya. Upasprishya. Sprishya means to touch. And apasprishya means barely touching, hardly touching. So after Narada Muni left, what did Vyasadeva do? So this is the answer. That after Vyasadeva left, Narada Muni sat down on the banks of Saraswati and began to meditate. Bhakti yogena manasi samyaka pranihite male apasya purusham purnam mayam cha tad-abhipretaṁ. Thus he fixed his mind perfectly engaged by the linking it in devotional service without any tinge of materialism. And thus he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead along with his external energy was under his control. So this is the vision, the inner vision of Śrīla Vyāsadeva when he was in meditation. So what did he see? The first he is saying is that he fixed his mind on the Supreme Lord by the linking process of Bhakti Yoga. What is the linking process? Prabhupada will explain. It begins with Shravana, without any tinge of materialism, and thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy, which is under full control. Perfect vision of the absolute truth is possible only by the linking process of devotional service. Very important sentence. That what perfect vision means, to be able to see the Supreme Lord. And how that vision comes? That vision comes only by the linking process of our devotional service. Sorry. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. One can perfectly realize the supreme absolute truth personality of Godhead only by the process of devotional service, and can enter into the kingdom of God by such perfect knowledge. All of you know this verse, important verse from the 18th chapter. What is the verse from the 18th chapter? Very famous verse. That the linking process of devotional service, and one can enter into the kingdom of God by such perfect knowledge. Imperfect realization of the absolute by the partial approach of the impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma does not permit anyone to enter into the kingdom of God. Śrī Nārada advised Śrīla Vyāsadeva to become absorbed in transcendental meditation of the personality of Godhead and his activities. Śrīla Vyāsadeva did not take notice of the effulgence of Brahman because that is not absolute vision. The absolute vision is the personality of Godhead as it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:19. Vasudevam Sarvamitis. The Upanishad also it is confirmed that Vyasadeva, the personality of Godhead, is covered by the golden glowing Hiranmayena Patrena, veil of a personal Brahman. And when that curtain is removed by the mercy of the Lord, the real face of the Absolute is seen. The Absolute is mentioned here as Purusha or person. The Absolute personality of Godhead is mentioned in so many Vedic literatures. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Purusha is confirmed as the eternal and original person. The Absolute personality of Godhead is perfect person. So what Vyasadeva saw? By the process of linking, process of devotional service. How? Because he carried out the instruction of Nārada Muni. So that is the link. And what he did, he followed the process of the instruction. That becomes Bhakti Yoga. So he had the perfect realization or vision. He saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with it, the external energy Maya. So how it functions. The Absolute Personality of Godhead is mentioned in so many Vedic literatures. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Purusha is confirmed as the eternal and original person. The Absolute Personality of Godhead is perfect person. The Supreme Person has manifold energies, out of which the internal, external, and marginal energies are specifically important. We have discussed this many, many times. So the Supreme Lord has many energies, but three are principal. The internal, the external, and the marginal, which is the Jiva. The energy mentioned here is the external energy, as will be clear from the statements of her activities. The internal energy is there along with the Absolute Person, as the moonlight is there with the moon. Very beautiful. So the internal energy is there like the moonlight with the moon. The external energy is compared to darkness because it keeps the living entity in darkness of ignorance. The word apashrayam suggests that this energy of Lord is under full control. The internal potency or superior energy is also called Maya, but it is spiritual Maya or energy exhibited in the absolute will. When one is under the shelter of this internal potency, the darkness of material energy is at once dissipated. Jahan Krishna tahan nahi maya ra adhikar. Even those who are Atmaram or fixed in trance take shelter of this maya or internal energy. Devotional service or bhakti yoga is the function of the internal energy. And thus there is no place for the inferior energy or material energy, just as there is no place for darkness in the effulgence of spiritual light. Such internal energy is even superior to spiritual bliss, attainable in the conception of impersonal Brahman. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that the impersonal Brahman effulgence is also an emanation from the absolute personality of Godhead Shri Krishna. The Param Purusha cannot be anyone except Shri Krishna himself, as will be explained in the later shlokas. So this is the next section, which I will take from tomorrow. So here what we saw is that after Vyasadeva left, after Narada Muni left, what did Vyasadeva do? Vyasadeva deeply meditated and he was following the instructions of Narada Muni. Okay, I'll stop here and bring a short class. If there is any question or contribution, please speak. You have all sent your Vyas Puja offering in that website you have uploaded. Manoram Prabhu, you have uploaded?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Ganesh, did you write?
Yes, Prabhuji, I uploaded. Prabhuji.
You have uploaded. Ravinder, you and Priyanka Mataji, upload कर दिया?
Yes, Prabhuji.
आपको कोई उसका वो भी आया क्या कंफर्मेशन अपलोड होने के बाद मेल या कोई मैसेज?
नहीं प्रभुजी, अपलोड करने के बाद एक पॉपअप मैसेज आया था,
क्या?
जैसे सक्सेसफुली सबमिटेड ऐसे कुछ आया।
हाँ, लेकिन उसका कोई मेल कंफर्मेशन या मैसेज नहीं आया?
नहीं प्रभुजी।
Okay, if there is no question further, I'll stop here. Thank you very much, and please study. Please study this section of Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.